Hello everybody, it's Tina Melo from the Melo Project Runway for the Youth and the Indigo Justice Collection. It's a special course that I created based on a Montessori principle. Concentrate on things that we've always wanted to do. Replay these videos and do them at your leisure. It's great to do at home with your kids. Watch the video about threading. I take it step by step, really slow. I also have a book on my website, on my shop, meloprojectrunway.com. Fabric, I just cut them in squares. I can tell you by the ruler. I don't know, just basically 6 inches by 5.5, or it doesn't really matter. And I first have them start out with cutting about 6 of these squares. So very similar to the shape that they're making those masks from, a rectangle shape. But just get fabric, light fabric. It doesn't really matter, whatever you can scrap up. You know what, you got plenty of clothes in your closet that you're going to throw away or bring to the Salvation Army. Why don't you just cut those up and use those? I mean, if anybody needs fabric, I have plenty in my studio. Fabric, fold it. So whatever size you're starting with, just fold it over and make sure it's about the same measurement all across, like a rectangle. Some safe pins, fabric pins, they're all kinds. Have to go crazy and get exactly everything. I can show you a lot of stuff that you don't really need to go out and buy and rush off. You can find it in your house. Even safety pins. Look for those sewing kits. So you just pin it, and then I want you to take a ruler. Again, if you don't have a ruler, look around your house. There's boxes, metal boxes, anything with a straight edge, cardboard, and then you need a pencil, and just measure it out. Just give yourself at least 5 inches or 6, anything like that. And just mark it at the bottom like this, and then measure it again, same distance, measure it. Okay, then turn your whatever you're using for a straight edge, turn it over to the side, line it up so it's a nice straight line, and then just draw a line. Go lightly with the pencil or it's going to jump and jagger, but still, again, it doesn't really matter. So you're going to now line this up, draw a line. I made a line. Now, scissors. You just use paper scissors. Put your hand on the side of where you're going to cut, thumb in. And place your hands down, because what you do is you're not cutting fabric up in here. You always cut flat on the table. What you're going to do is I want you to cut on the right side of that pencil line. I want you to get as close to the pencil line without cutting the pencil line, because that line later is going to be the outline of your pattern that we're going to be creating. So, okay. So here we go. I'm going to cut as close as you can. When you cut, you're going to look down on the scissor, because this is a straight line. Down. Always look down on the work. Okay. Always be above everything you're doing. If you're going like this, you're not going to see where you're cutting. So keep everything under you, lay above it. Look down on your scissor. Before you go and cut, you can actually see where you're going to cut before you go down on it. Practice makes perfect. And you can actually see my line. And you're going to do that for 6. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After you do that, you're going to end up with a square. I want you to draw then a square. You've got to take your ruler. These are actually the real rulers for pattern making. Draw a square in the middle of one of them. A shape or whatever you're sewing is going to include all of these shapes that I'm actually going to lay out for you. I'm going to have you take a Sharpie, and I want you to make it, I want you to draw the Sharpie, but be careful because the Sharpie goes through the fabric. So wherever you're writing on top of, you don't want to do it somewhere where because the Sharpie won't come off. So you got to be very light with your Sharpie. Okay, draw on the pencil line as soon as you can. Something with corners, because a lot of your garments and everything we wear has straight lines. So this one is a straight line, sleeves, straight line, corner, you see? So the reason why my students can sew whatever they design in my class is because they've gone through this 2-week class for 4 hours. They have accomplished this all in 4 hours. So if they can do it at 5 years old, everybody can do it. And you can look on YouTube and see all my classes, and you will see all the students from all ages up that can do this. So this is great distance learning. My threads coming out of the hole that's right below the needle. I make sure that I have 2 threads, and I make sure it's long enough, and I put it in the back. I go, whew. Okay, so I've got my square, and again, I did it in purple this time, so I don't want anybody thinking it has to be black. So here we go. First thing you do, okay, number 1 rules, okay? Follow, take notes, get this all engraved in your head, all right? Very important, because otherwise there's so many designs that you're going to want to do, and then you're going to be like, well, how do I sew it? You'll be spending a lot of time seam ripping. So here we go. At a corner, never start on a corner, okay? Never. Start somewhere down here and then backstitch. Now we know what backstitching is, right? Backstitching is so that everything you've just sewn does not start unraveling. So I want you to lift up the petal, line this up, leave the foot up, bring down the needle. So from now on, when I say by hand, I don't mean hand stitching, hand sewing. When I say by hand, I mean taking this and going only towards you, because if you go this way, inside here, it has to go forward. When it goes forward, the needle goes up and down, okay? So here we go. Bring this down with your hand, using the hand, and I'm right on it. So you see, I am right on it. Let's see if you can see that, but I'm right on the line. See that? So, and I'm not in the corner, all right? I'm not in the corner. I'm away from that corner. You see? I'm in front of it. So then now I can press your foot down. You got to bring that foot down, because you cannot sew without the foot down, okay? So now you got your petal. This machine, the Patchwork, has settings. You can go slow or fast. So don't want anybody pressing too hard, because it's like a car. If you press the pedal too hard, you're going to drive really fast. So pretty much look at it as driving a car. That's what I tell all my students. You're driving a car. We don't need any race car drivers in here. All right, so here we go. Now, sewing machines only sew in a straight line. Remember that, straight line. They don't sew in curves, straight line. So you're the one who guides it, okay? So you see this? You're the one who guides it. So literally you don't have to have your hands here. You just basically put your little fingers here and keep your eye only on the needle. And you're going to let it follow. You're just going to keep the eye on the needle and slowly follow that line. All right, and don't worry if you go off. You just pick it up, take it out, you're going to seam rip. That's important. We need a seam ripper. If you're going to sew, that's something you definitely need to have from a sewing store, is a seam ripper. So here we go. Back stitch. Now, some of these sewing machines have a button that will automatically stop with the needle in the down position. But I usually don't want to teach or let the students use that, because I want them to get used to the fact that they have to remember to always have the needle in the down position, or else they lose their spot. Because we have sewing exercises coming up and they need to make sure they know that. So make sure you lower it, because it'll stop with the up position if you don't have that setting on. So always keep the needle in the down position, because then you never lose your spot. You see that? You can just move it around. So we put this back down, line it up. All right. All right, now needle is in the up position. Bring it down, okay? So that we can lift this and never lose a spot. So here we go. You see how I stopped? I stopped right before I got to the corner. Look. It's at least 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Very important. Never start or stop at a corner. There's no way you're going to stop. Absolutely not. Don't even try it. I want you to always stop at corners and do it by hand. So, key. When I say by hand, which is in the book, go like this. Do it by hand. And then check it. Did I get on that line? In the corner? No, I didn't. I'm still got a couple of more stitches to go before I get right at that corner. So keep going. One more. All right. I am as close as it's going to get. And believe me, sometimes the stitches are a little wider than others, depending on where you start. So I'm pretty much right there at the corner with my needle now. And I turned it. Do you see how I turned it? and I didn't lose my spot, the needle has to be in the down position. I'm going to keep repeating myself because I want this to be engraved in your brain, okay? So then you never forget. So now that I turned it, I checked it, I'm pretty much there. And if it's a little bit over, just get it back on the line. You can go like that and then start. So here we go. I'm going to do the same thing. Here we go. And again, I stop before I get to the corner. And then I do it by hand. And presto, lift up. It is right on that corner. I mean, this may seem so simple to you, but actually it's not. I mean, so many people do not sew this way. They really don't. And that's why they spend most of their time seam ripping. And, you know, I mean, we did not get taught this. I just, somehow the whole Montessori got me to like break it all down and then design something that actually anybody could understand. And by using these techniques, you become a full pro sewer. So here we go. I turned the corner. I checked it. I could go maybe like another stitch, but I'm not going to do that. I'm so close. So here we go. Going to do it again. Now, if there's a pin or anything in the way, again, needle down, I pull it out because this pin's in the way. I'll just move it. And I follow. You see, my hands are not on, don't hold the fabric. Don't hold it because there's like a foot there. There's like little things that come up and it moves it right underneath here. So that's why the pressure foot has to be down so it moves the fabric. You see, it moves the fabric without even me touching it. So, but I want to control this because I want to follow the straight line. So here we go. There we go. And again, stop before the corner. Do it by hand. Get in the corner. Get in the corner. See, all of these exercises, getting used to using your machine, learning to sew, getting comfortable because you're in control of your sewing machine. It can't do anything without you controlling it. And this thing is so easy and simple. Do not be fearful of a sewing machine, seriously. Okay, so here I go. I took my corner. And I'm following the line, and I stop before the end of it, and I do it by hand. Look at that. Lift up, check, one more stitch. Go down, turn. There we go. Now, you can see this is my thread from when I started. So I know that this is where I started, so I can use it as my guide. Make sure that the threads are on the other side. Now, like a braid. Okay, braid. You need to put an elastic at the bottom of the braid. Otherwise, it's going to unravel, right? Just like if you don't backstitch. All right, so backstitch is going forward and back over what you stitched, and then it keeps it secure. So now if I started right here, I need to go past where I started. Otherwise, if I stop before where I started, I'm going to have a little hole here. We don't want a hole. Okay, if you're going to sew, we need to make sure that there's no holes on this anywhere, right? So I need to go past where I started. So here we go. Go past it. At least about I don't know, quarter of an inch. And then backstitch. But stay on that line. Here we go. Backstitch. And that's it. Lift up. Needle is in the up position. Highest position. Pull it away. This has a... There we go. And of course you get your seam ripper. And we're gonna clean your stitches. And there we go. Perfect. Lesson number 1. Follow the rest. Learning and share my videos because there's gonna be a lot more coming. All right, but let's get the basics first before we move on to the real stuff. Okay. I want to be a fashion designer. So take a look. Everyone, look at that. I had to re-sketch all my designs. It's got silhouettes. It's got croquis. It's got all the sleeves and the necklines. I mean, everything they've learned, I re-sketched everything. Everyone, I am so excited. So